Today, I welcome you to our new topic of operation research. It is a linear program. It is a very interesting topic, and you can say it is a little bit of lengthy process, but we will try to solve it in a simple way, and for better understanding, I will help you in every possible way. Let us start with a small introductory part of linear programming. What basically a linear programming is. I will later come to this particular, this decision matrix. We will solve this in the later part. First of all, in a few words, I just want to have a knowledge of linear programming. So in the introduction part, I can say linear programming is one of the operation research techniques. Okay, and it has its early use for mainly military applications, but it is employed now widely for business problems also. Okay, and linear programming specially, you can say it is a mathematical technique for the purpose of allocating the limited resources. I will be talking about the limited resources. What are the resources? What are the raw materials? What are the utilization of raw materials? Okay, in the latter part. But for this particular definition part, I can say you that it is a mathematical technique for the purpose of allocating the limited resources in an optimum manner. Okay, there is either maximum or minimum, but generally we are having the maximum portion in our maximization problem in our syllabus, current syllabus. Okay, in order to achieve the objectives of the business, okay, which may be maximum overall profit. In case of profit, we are having the maximization of profit, or in case of cost, we are having the minimization problem. Okay, so the now that what linear means the relationships handled are those which can be represented by a straight line only. Okay, that is it follows the form y equal to x plus b. That is the equation for the straight line. Okay, so it is the form it follows. Okay, that is why it is known as linear. And the word programming, this programming means taking decisions systematically. Okay, so this is what linear programming basically means. Okay, in other words, you can also say the linear programming is the optimization, either maximization or minimization of a linear function of variables. What is the variables? I will come to later. Of variables subject to constraint of linear inequalities. I will tell you all about the variables and constraints. Okay, so this is, you can say, the definitive or the definition portion or the introduction portion of this particular linear programming. And what is the aim? I can say you a few words about the aim. It attempts to, actually you already know, it attempts to maximize or minimize linear function of decision variables. Actually, what is the decision variables? I will also tell you. Okay, and the value of the decision variables are selected in such a way that they satisfy a set of constraints. Okay, set of constraints. Now, let us say first decision variables. I want to say about the decision variables. So, in order to find the decision variables, I will say a few words. Decision variables are the variables whose quantitative values are to be found from the solution of the model so as to minimize or maximize the objective function. Okay, for example, decision variables in a product mix manufacturing represents the quantities of let us write the decision variables for your better understanding. Decision variables. Okay, what are the decision variables? Okay, so what was I giving an example? Decision variables, say, in a product mix manufacturing, any manufacturing company you can take, it represents the quantities of the different products to be manufactured by using limited resources. Okay, limited resources such as, you can say, men. Okay, or you can say machines. Okay, this is an abbreviated term. Okay, I am writing in a short form, machines. Okay, machines, or you can say materials, or you can say money. Okay, so this all, you can say, they are the decision variables, and these are represented in a linear programming as x1, x2, x3, xn. Okay. So basically, decision variables are the, represent the quantities of the different products to be manufactured by using its limited resources. Okay. So these are the decision variables. This is very important term we are going to use in solving linear programming problem. Okay. Now, there are mainly two types of decision variables. One is the controllable variables, which can be controlled, or you can say are those whose values are under control of the decision maker. Okay. So one is the controllable variables, you can say control level, and another you can easily understand uncontrollable. Okay. Uncontrollable means the variables whose values are not under control. So this is the this is about the decision variables. Next, the important term is objective function. Okay, these all things we are going to use in the particular problem of linear programming. So I can write it objective. I'm writing in a short form OBJ. Okay, I will write it in full form. Objective function, you can say. Objective function. What does this mean? Objective function. It is a very important in linear problem. So objective function denotes the determinants of the quality either to be maximized or to be minimized. Okay. When I will be solving the problem, you will be you will have a better understanding of this particular decision variables, objective functions, and other terms. Okay, for this particular session, you just learn what are the definitive portions or the definitions of these particular terms. So let us say profit. Okay, so profit is a function to be maximized, or cost is a function to be minimized. So I can write profit, it can be maximized. This is the maximized, okay, in a short form, and cost we need to minimize. Okay, minimized. So objective function must include all the possibilities with profit or cost coefficient per unit of output. For example, let us take a firm which produces 4 different products, say A, B, C, D. Okay, A, B, C, D. Okay, in quantities, say Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. Okay, these are the quantities of this particular product. Now, the objective function can be stated as, say, cost. Okay, so minimize, say, cost equal to Q1 into C1 plus Q2 into C2 plus Q3 into C3 plus Q4 into C4. Okay, so this C is the total cost of production, and C1, C2, C3, C4 are the unit cost of production of this particular products. Okay, A, B, C, and D respectively. So this is what a objective function does. Okay. Now comes the next part. Next important thing is the constraints. We'll be having constraints in solving different LPB problems. So constraints I will write over here. Constraints. RAINTS, constraints. It is also known as inequalities. Inequalities. Okay. What is constraints? Now, constraints are the restrictions. Okay, these are the restrictions you cannot do. These are the restrictions, resistance, you can say, imposed on decision variables. Okay, you already know what is decision variables, and these are the restrictions on the particular decision variables. Okay, this may be in terms of availability of raw materials, machine hours, man hours, etc. Okay, suppose let us say each of the items already I have shown you A, B, C, D. Okay, ABCD requires time T1, T2, T3, T4. Okay, so these are the machine hours to produce this particular products. Okay, now the total machine hours available are T. Let's say capital T is the total machine hour. Okay, now this is a constant. You can say this is a constant. Therefore, the term can be written as in this way. You can write Q1 T1, say, okay, plus Q2 T2 plus Q3 T3 plus Q4 T4. Okay, which should be less than equal to T. And these are the quantities. You already know Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 are the quantities produced for this particular products A, B, C and D. Okay. So T is the maximum time you have. That is the constraint. Okay. You cannot exceed all the summation of this particular products timings above T. So it should be less than or equal to T. Summation of this all the timing of this particular production of this particular products in quantities Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4. So I think it is clear to you what is the constraints. Okay. Now next comes the non-negative condition. Okay, so non-negative condition, I don't think it is very important to illustrate in a bigger way. You will just understand in the coming problem. You will see non-negative pattern. When we are say we are having the decision variables x1 or x2, they are all will be greater than equal to 0. That is the non-negative constant. As because we cannot have a product in a negative sense, that doesn't make sense. Okay, so all the products we are going to manufacture or we are going to use the raw materials should be greater than equal to 0. That is the condition of non-negative. Okay, now the next one or two terms are there also. The linear relationship, you already know linear. Why? Because it follows the straight line equation. Okay, now feasible solution. Okay, there is another term, I can write it over. It is an important one, so I will write it over. It is known as feasible solution. Okay, what is feasible solution? Feasible solution is the solutions, you can say, which can be worked out under given constraints are called as feasible solutions, and region comprising such feasible is called as feasible region. We will make it understand very easily while we will solving the this LPB program. Graphically we will have the concept of feasible solution in a bigger method, bigger sense. Okay, and now the next one is the optimum solution. Optimum solution is nothing but the optimization. After doing the optimization, what the solution we will obtain, it is known as optimum solution. Optimum is either maximum or minimum. You can say in case of profit it will be maximum, or in case of cost you can say it is a minimum. Okay, so this is the optimum solution. You can say the object of obtaining the feasible optimum solution may be maximization of a profit or minimization of a cost. Okay, so optimum solution is the best. Optimum solution is the best of all feasible solutions. Okay, so that is the introductory part. I think I have covered the introduction part. Now let us have some fun while doing the formulation of the. I'll start with a problem that I have over here. You can see it. It says a company produces two products P1 and P2. Okay, by using three raw materials A, B and C. The profit from P1 and P2, these two products, and these are the raw materials. Okay, so the profit from P1 and P2 are ₹3 and ₹5 unit respectively. The utilization of raw material for production and maximum raw material available is given in table below. Find the number of P1 and P2 to be manufactured so as to maximize the total profit. So here they have asked the maximization of the total profit, and you also must need to know that we have only maximization problems in our syllabus only. Okay, so let us see how to solve this problem. Okay, I have written the total table in this whiteboard for you. Okay, I think it is visible now. Okay, look. So look here what we have. The company manufactures two products P1 and P2. It is given. Okay, now we have raw materials as A, B and C. Okay, and for this particular A, B and C raw material we are having maximum available unit as 4, 12 and 18. These are known as the constraints, which I have told you earlier. These are the restrictions or constraints. You cannot exceed 4 or 12 or 18. Okay, this you have to keep in mind. These are the constraints, you can say also. Okay, now coming to the profit, it says for per unit production of P1 you are getting ₹3 as profit. Okay, this is the P1. And for per unit production of P2 material, you are getting 5. Okay. Now they have asked you to find the number of P1 and P2 to be manufactured so as to be maximize the total profit. First step in the LPP, you have to formulate it. You have to make a, equation. Okay. That is the formulation of LPP. So let us start with formulation. Okay. So let us say we will manufacture X1 unit of P1 and X2 unit of product P2. Say, let us take X1 and X2. Okay. Now this says we have to maximize the total profit in the problem. You can see over here. It says find the number of P1 and P2 to be manufactured so as to maximize the profit. Say we are taking P1 number of P1 as X1 and number of P2 as X2. Okay. So this one is X1 and this one is X2. Okay. Now say we have to maximize. Okay. So we are writing max, that is a maximization of say profit. Profit we generally denote with Z here in this LPP. Okay. So maximize Z equal to, look, for per unit we are having 3 profit for this particular product P1. So for X1 unit we will be having 3 into X1, simple, 3 into X1, and for X2 we will be having 5 X2. So total profit will be combination of these two products, that is 5x1 plus 3x1 plus 5x2. Okay. Now the next one, these are the decision variables x1, x2. Okay. Now it is subjected to. Okay. Subjected to means the constants. We have to write the constant subjected to, or in the second as it is the first video, I am writing the subjected to in a elaborated manner. From next class onwards we will be having this one only, subjected to. Okay. In a short form, subjected to. Look, now the constants, we have to write the constants. We have raw materials A, B and C, and we have maximum available units as 4, 12 and 18 units only. Okay. So first one says, say this X1. Okay. This X1 into, say, how much is needed to manufacture this P1, how much material of raw material of A is required, that is 1 unit is required. This is a decision matrix table. Okay. So this represents 1 unit of A raw material is needed to produce, say, X1 quantities of P1. Okay. 1 unit of quantity is required to for per unit production of this P1 product. For this P2, for per unit production of this particular P2 product, we have to obtain 0 amount of raw material. Now for this one, we are needing 0 amount of raw material B for production of per unit of P1. For this, it says for per unit production of P2 product, we are going to have 2 units of B raw material. Okay. Similarly, for this particular P1 product, we are going to have 3 units for per unit production of P1. Okay. 3 units of raw material is needed. Similarly, for per unit production of P2 product, we are going to have 2 units of C raw material. Okay. Now I think it is clear to you. So say we are manufacturing X1 unit. So per unit we are needing, for producing unit product, we are needing 1 amount of raw material. Now for producing X1 unit of P1 product, we are having X1 into 1 amount of raw material A. Okay. So for first one, I can write only X1 and this one is 0. So 0 into, you can say, X2. Okay. So I can write it over here. 1 into X1 plus 0 into X2. These two 1 should be combined to 4 only. That should not exceed 4. Okay. So I can write it like that. Less than equal to 4. It should not exceed 4. It can either be 4 or less than 4. Now it is understand. Okay. Now for this second one, X1 into 0, I can write it over 0 into X1 plus 2 into X2. That should be, this combination should be maximum available unit, that is 12. Okay. For the next one, 3 into x1, you can write 3 into x1 plus 2 into x2, you can write should be less than equal to 18. Or in short form, I can write, look, x1 less than equal to 4, 2x2 less than equal to 12, okay, and this one 3x1 plus 2x2 should be less than equal to 18. Okay, so these are the constants. We will write in this fashion only in the upcoming sessions. Okay, so this is the elaborative one, so we will write in a short form. Okay, that will be the x1 less than 3 power 4, that is the first constant, second constant is this one, and third constant is this one. Okay, so these are the subjected constants, these are the constant values. And now the last one, I was already saying you in the previous session that x1 x2 should be greater than equal to 0. These are the non-negative constants. Okay, these are non-negative. So this is the maximization part. There is the maximum z, 3x1 plus 5x2 subjected to this one. These three are the governing equations for the constants. Okay, this 1, 2, 3, and this is the non-negative. So in a short, you can say for this particular problem, before going to by solving a graphical or simplex method, we have to formulate it. So in order to formulate it, we have formulated in this way. We have to formulate in this particular. We have asked to formulate. That is the maximization. We have asked to maximize the product. So we have to write as maximum or maximize z, that is max z equal to unit profit is 3 for product P1. So let us say we have to produce x1 and x2. So 3x1 plus 5x2 subjected to constants are x1 into 1 plus 0 into x2 less than equal to 4. Next 0 into x1 plus 2 into x2 less than equal to 12, and the last one is 3 into x1 plus 2 into x2 less than equal to 18, and x1 x2 should be always greater than equal to 0. That is, it cannot be negative. They are the decision variables. Okay, so this is all about, you can say, the formulation. We'll if time permits, we will have some more formulations so that you will understand better the formulation part and gain confidence to solve in the examinations. Let us see. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you.